Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cece and today I'm going to be talking about all of the intimidating books that I have on my TBR. So most of these are simply intimidating because of the size. They are all very chunky, which makes them a little bit intimidating to try and read, especially when I already have, you know, like 5 to 6 other books on my TBR for each month. But I still really want to get to them because I have heard either incredible things about them. I just think that I would really enjoy it. So with that being said, let's get into the first book that I have on this list. So these are all books that I have on my physical TBR, so that's all of the books that I actually own, the ones that are on my bookshelves. So the first one that I have is one that is not exactly chunky by any means, but I've heard quite a few mixed reviews about it, and so I don't know if I'm really going to like it or not. And that is going to be Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is meant to be like a dark academia type of book. I know there is quite a few trigger warnings. The lady at the counter when I bought this book actually warned me about some type of like sexual assault type of scene. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel. Everybody does talk about the extensive list of trigger warnings, so I feel like I sort of know what I'm going into, but then people are also saying that it's not really the best that it could have been, and everything like that. So in this we follow our main character called Alex. She has this special type of ability, I believe. I think it's that she can see ghosts or she can interact with ghosts, I'm not entirely too sure. She gets picked up by Yale University, which was quite interesting, and they sort of hire her to be like a monitoring the mysterious activities of Yale's secret societies. So that's technically what they've sort of hired her for, as she attends the university. There's ghosts involved, there's some guy called Charming or something or other, I can't exactly remember, but everybody loves him, or Darlington I think it is, or something or other, I don't know. Regardless, I want to read this, but I just don't know. Next on the list is probably one of the biggest books that I own, and it is not even a binder. This is just the one book, and you probably know what book I am talking about, and you could probably kill somebody with this or give them a very bad concussion. Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Look at how big this is. I do know that I think the back of it has like a glossary or something or other. But anyway, I believe this is supposed to be a... oh crap, what is it? It's not Peter and the Dragon, it's something else. It's meant to be like a very loose retelling of a certain folk tale, I think. Anyway, so we have a country that is separated into like the north and the south. One side of the country really likes dragons and they like worship them as gods and stuff like that, and then we have the other side of the country and they are absolutely terrified of dragons. They don't want them to come back, but in order for the dragons to come back, something needs to happen. I'm not entirely too sure. They really need to start putting synopsises on the back of stuff. I don't know, they don't have the synopsis on the back of it, so I've just done a very terrible job at that, but nonetheless, I am interested in this. I just don't know how I will get along with this. I have heard that it is quite slow, and I don't particularly do well with slow books, so I don't really know how this will go for me. So yes. If you guys think I should read this, please let me know down below in the comments. Next up is another well-known high fantasy. Most of these are actually high fantasy except for, I believe, Ninth House. I am not particularly too worried about this one anymore, but that is only because I have actually read and almost finished a book by this author and I am really enjoying it. So the one that I'm talking about is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I'm specifically intimidated by this because of how much people love this. I want to be one of them and I am so terrified that I won't be. It's big and I have attempted to read this before and I think I only got through about 25 pages before I just went, I am so confused, I'm done, I don't want to read anymore. But that being said, I did read it when I was not into high fantasy, specifically adult high fantasy. So now that I am more well versed in that genre, I think I might enjoy this. I'm scared, but I hope that it is going to be okay. This is a very, very well loved and old copy. I picked this up at a thrift store. I got the whole entire trilogy, I think, for like $12, which is an absolute steal. So yeah, I hope that I like it. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I hope I do. Next up is another very, very chunky book, but thankfully it is actually a bind up of a trilogy that's sort of meant to be one series, one book, I don't know. I am actually talking about The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh boy, is this a very big book. So this is the bind up of the 3 stories. So this has the Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and The Return of the King. So she is big and she is chunky and she's also very, very dusty. I apologize. But anyway, I absolutely love The Lord of the Rings. I religiously watch the movies at least twice a year, and it's just a comfort series for me, so I really, really do want to read this. I'm just terrified that I'm not going to like it, which makes me really, really sad and scared. So I don't know if I want to read it or not, but I do want to read it. So it's just all a big difficult time at the moment. So yes, I have listened to a sort of audiobook, dramatized version of The Hobbit that I really, really enjoyed. I didn't end up finishing it, but I really enjoyed it. It was very much like just watching the movie with your eyes closed. So maybe that's the way I go with this, because I do know that I think Andy Serkis, who is the actor who plays Gollum in the movies, he, I think, is the narrator of the audiobooks. I'm not entirely too sure, but I think if I listen to it while reading it, that might make it easier. I'm not entirely too sure, because I have heard quite a few people say that Tolkien's writing is quite dense in places, and I don't know how I would go with that, because I don't think I've actually read a dense high fantasy yet, so we shall see. I really want to read this, but I just don't know. And then lastly on this list, I have another big book. This is simply because I've never read from this author before, but I have really enjoyed the adaptation of this series, and it's going to be George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. This is supposed to be a sort of prequel / history retelling, I guess you could say, of the Targaryen family, set 300 years before the Game of Thrones series takes place. Look, it's huge. But I'm hoping that because this one is his more recent publications, I would find it easier to read than going to his older publications. I'm not entirely too sure yet. I'm hoping that because I do know the world of Game of Thrones and Westeros, that I will still be able to read this, because that's the one thing I am a little bit worried about, is that I'm going to get extremely confused about who is who and what is what, and I just don't want that to happen. Oh, there's pictures in here. That doesn't look good. I don't know what it's meant to be. It looks like there's like a... Oh, there's pictures. So I think this is kind of like a... Holy crap, he's written so many fucking books. These end pages are amazing. We've got like a full, family portrait, I guess you could say. That's very, very pretty. I don't know who's who, but, you know, I'm gonna guess Daenerys' father is in there somewhere and all that type of jazz. I don't know if I'm supposed to read the Game of Thrones books first, or I don't know, but either way, this is one of the books that I have on my list. I am not going to attempt to lift these up because I will most likely break my arm, because these are very, very big, chunky books. Almost all of them will definitely be over 600 pages. But nonetheless, please let me know which books that you think I should probably prioritize the most. I am definitely interested in seeing what you guys would like me to read sooner rather than later. Let me know what some of the books are that you have on your TBR that you find intimidating. I am always interested in seeing what other people class as imitating as intimidating, so I am really looking forward to seeing your comments. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you thought of it. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here on the channel. And if you would also like to see more of me, do check out my Instagram. I have it linked down in the description box below. And yes, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in another one later on.